When I put it plainly here, my feelings for you seem mediocre. I do not mean that my feelings on their own are inherently of a poor quality, but that my description and explanation of those feelings fail to live up to the feelings themselves. They immediately become plain upon being put into words. The reasons for this mediocrity are twofold. Firstly, it derives from the fact that I lack talent. Whether in circles of critics or whether in general parlance, people sometimes utilize definitions that do not apply to a chosen medium but another to better describe the original medium in question. When a sculptor sculpts a bust, they photograph us. When a photographer takes a photo, they record us. When a filmmaker records, they paint us a picture. When a painter paints a piece, they tell us a story. When a writer writes a story, they illustrate something to us. When an artist illustrates, they speak to us. When an orator speaks, it is music to our ears. When a musician plays, they make their instruments sing for us. And when a singer sings, they touch us deeply. But when I touch my keyboard, or typewriter, or put pen to paper, I can't help but break the spell, the magic. My participation automatically precludes perfection. Nothing I write seems worthy, and maybe it isn't, but I persist, because I need to describe how I feel about you. I am not convinced, however, that the plainness is my failing alone. This is because, secondly, the mediocrity of my feelings for you derives from this medium, prose, lacking the adequate materials. Ask yourself, how would you best describe that cannot be put into words? I know how I feel, and I know what these feelings mean to me. I know exactly the scope of these intense, exploding, kaleidoscopic feelings that come from deep within me, but the characters that form these words, that form these sentences, and that form whatever this becomes, are wholly inadequate to describe them. I could say I find you cute, or beautiful, or divine. I could say I'm smitten, or aching, or longing for you. And although all of that would be true, what would be the point? What would be the purpose? To even plan on formulating such sentences within a language as simple as I've come to realize this one is when considering you, is to conspire to commit a certain murder. That is, to write down how I feel about you with such inert and lifeless words as are available to me within the confines of my knowledge of this language or any other I've come across, is to immediately kill the very thing I am trying my best to bring to life. The wholeheartedly life-affirming and absolutely consuming love I have for you. I'm sorry I cannot sculpt, or photograph, or film. I'm sorry I cannot paint, or write, or illustrate. I'm sorry I cannot speak well, or play music. Even if I could do it all, and even if I did, I know it wouldn't be enough. I know it would just be but a foregone conclusion towards futility in trying to properly but poorly expressing the very same thing over and over. It is an injustice to even begin trying to describe in the bastardry of any language what it is you do to me when you allow even a glance of yours to meet my gaze. Let me put it another way. Mankind has been affected by the description of the Big Bang in a discovery that everything came from the point of a pinhead in a few words. But tell me, where should I begin when into the pinhead of a few words I'm trying to fit the point of everything I alone have discovered in trying to accurately describe your effect on me? As much as I can feel it, and as much as I know it to be true, to put it down here in words, it simply cannot be done. Maybe these two reasons of forming the mediocre from something once magical, due to a lack of talent as well as a lack of materials, would be enough to stop most from the attempt. For whatever reason, here I am, despite it all. I feel incredibly lucky to be experiencing something so beyond expression. So lucky in my condemnation to such a Sisyphean task as trying to describe my feelings for you within any medium, only to have them come out in a clump. So, as this will be mediocre at best, please forgive me in advance. I promise that although the result of this will no doubt be unworthy, the attempt will be worthwhile, at least for me. I promise too that I will do my worst, as best I can. Let me end this with where I began, in saying that when I put it plainly, I love you so very, very much.